Oh, hi. Preseason, week 4, against the Ravens, at home. We got our ass kicked. It's over. Preseason's done.
Yeah, I think if we were going to win a preseason game, this would be the one.
It's over. It's fucking over. Of all the nothing games in the nothing game universe, this was just a nothing game. But we'll talk about it anyway, because that's what this is. Joe Callahan. Who the fuck is that? Here, we don't care about the goddamn Ravens stats. Haskins was 10 for 17. Haskins, he's gonna be in there at some point. When this shit hits the fan and they gotta bring him out, he's gonna be fucking awesome. 104 yards, 1 touchdown. McLovin went out there. I'm Jalen McClendon. You're McLovin, and you suck. You look like you should be the fucking Cowboys backup quarterback. You look like a douchebag. This asshole, 2 for 8, 4 yards, 1 pick. McLovin, you suck. McSuckin should be your name. McLovin, the fact that you're not going to be on this team, who fucking cares? All right, so we got a lot of DGNs in this episode because not a lot went down offensively, but there was some good stuff. But we open it up with a DGN. Ravens get the ball, cruise on down, kick a field goal. Who cares? Marshall looked pretty good this game. A little Marshall action. Haskins goes to Cam Sims. Sims looked decent. Steven Sims looked better. I hope both Sims make the team, but if I gotta pick one, I'm going with Steven Sims. Last week I was shitting on him because I wasn't paying attention, but this week it was hard not to pay attention to Steven Sims because he brought the heat and he's a badass. And then there was a little fumbly action, a little fumble bumble, and they picked it up and went in for a touchdown. Touchdown didn't count, and it's preseason and it's game 4, so fucking who cares? Haskins doing what Haskins likes to do and evade. He's moving, he's fucking dodging, weaving and moving, but it doesn't count because there's a flag. And then again, this drive goes nowhere. And then another series of muffed punts. And had Davis been out there, we would have recovered him. But instead, some other dickheads out there, and we don't recover either of them. J.U. Chesson. He didn't recover the muffed punt. But Gruden was pissed, and then Gruden gets a flag. So it's a muffed punt, but there's a flag. Talking about he hit him, helmet to helmet, which he didn't. That gets a flag. And then Gruden's like, fuck that noise. And then he gets a flag, which was pretty cool. He was pissed. Gruden's a good watch. And then we got the series of missed passes to Cam Sims. This was not Cam Sims' game. He didn't catch him. This is the first one. There. We got Davis with a nice catch. And this guy Parham. Parham? Is his name Parham? Is it Parham? Parham? No. Did some good stuff this game. Looking good, Parham. Parham. Holtz also bringing some heat. Dude's massive. Looks like Jordan Reed. And then we got throw to Sims. Oops, he dropped it. Well, let's go back to Sims again. Oops, he dropped it again. He's trying to get on that roster this season. That's not the way to do it. And then we got another DGN. So a lot of nothing going on in this game. And then the Ravens score. That's the bullshit thing about this game. We're like, oh, 4th preseason game. No one cares. Stupid game. Who cares? But wait, it's in Washington, and the Ravens have RG3 as like their 8th string quarterback. Maybe he'll play against Haskins. That'd be pretty cool. Nope, because RG knee broke his dang hand, his thumb, and so he's not playing at all. So what could have been an interesting game ends up being not an interesting game at all. Boo you, RG3 again, you porcelain fuck. And then Steven Sims comes out as the kick return dude and looks badass. And then Haskins and Kidsey are making connections. Haskins to Kidsey. Haskins slings a little sidearm action to Reynolds. But of course, again, this drive goes nowhere. Wicker. Only sack of the game by this cat Wicker, who does have a first name, and it is Jojo. I'm gonna call him John Wick. And then McLovin comes out and Mick sucks. McLovin comes out and the drive goes nowhere. McLovin comes back out and he throws a pick. And then the defense actually looked pretty good at the end of this game and held them to 3 points. Actually, the defense looked badass during this hold. But they still got 3 points, whatever. And then for the first time this preseason, and one of the first times ever, Tress Way gets his friggin' punt blocked. Fortunately, he wasn't injured. Punt's blocked, guy picks it up, almost gets a touchdown, but doesn't, but then does. And then we finished the game off with a few sweet runs by Marshall. Those runs were sweet. Marshall looking good. So, fucking it's over. Preseason's done. The only thing that happened in this game of any note to affect the season is the Casanova McKenzie concussion. So him and Jordan Reed are playing, what's a game that you play with friends who have head injuries. P. Ryan didn't do nothing this game. Questions. Where's Dad at? Let's find out. Well, I mean,
I guess the biggest surprise to me is P. Ryan. At the end of the game, I was pretty much thinking Cam Sims pretty much dug himself a grave.
Yep.
But then you got Steven Sims, who for me is the top candidate to get injured this year.
Really?
He's doing everything.
Well, yeah.
He's doing the kickoff returns or the punt returns, and he's doing great.
Mm-hmm.
And, and he's also a receiver. And maybe he won't be out there quite as much during regular season, but he was out there a lot yesterday. Byron Marshall's in. I guess he made it over P. Ryan. And Marshall looks pretty good. He's kind of a bull, but
yeah, he's shown
overall.
Yeah.
Overall through preseason, I don't know who performed better, quite honestly.
What gets me? Terry McLaurin, our draft from Ohio State, the receiver that Haskins was thrown to in Ohio State.
Have we seen him?
Didn't see him. He played like a couple of downs, but he made the team.
But he's in.
He was a lock from the get. And I'm like, we didn't even see him catch the ball. I don't understand that. But again, they spent a draft, he was a pick. And I feel like, I just don't understand not seeing him play at all and him winning a spot over Cam Sims. But we'll know once the season starts and they start throwing him bombs, because that was supposed to be his thing, Hopefully he's everything that they assume he is, and we get to see it, throughout the season. But
we're not going to see him with Haskins.
But the big theory right now, as far as Haskins goes, is that, should we not do well and not make it to the playoffs, that's when we'll see Haskins. When it doesn't matter. But that might not happen.
We don't really want it to happen.
That's the thing.
We do want to make the playoffs.
Yeah. So
I'll make a prediction. I got a feeling that Keenum at some point, probably early on, is going to have some sort of issue, and we'll see Haskins. Who's going to be number 2 at this point? Is it going to be McCoy or is it going to be Haskins?
I don't know how you can think it's going to be McCoy when hasn't played at all and is still injured and sucks.
But
best case scenario, we don't see either Haskins or McCoy all season, and we get to the playoffs. Because I think, that's the thing. After all the preseason, I'm like, you want to watch Haskins. Win or lose, he's more exciting to watch.
Yeah, he looked really good yesterday. He just continues to improve each game. It is what it is, like the kids say.
Yeah, and, thinking about all these guys, like this Jalen McClendon guy, that's it for you. This was your minute on American Idol to stand up there, and that's your minute of fame. And he sucked so bad. I'm like, that's it, man. You're never heard from again. That whole thing is like, they're just out there in the ether, and should anyone get so desperate, they just need someone to hike the ball to.
Yeah.
Go pick up one of these guys who just, have no chance. But other than that, it's like, man, how heartbreaking would that be to go back home and be like, do y'all see me on the game? I was playing in the NFL. It's like, that's gonna be tough.
Through a pick. Yeah.
Gotta be tough for these guys, because he looked like shit.
And then, of course, Gruden gets a technical.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I thought that was hilarious. If you're going to do that, do it on preseason. But, I understand his frustration. What the hell are these refs looking at?
Well, and I wonder
what they're looking at.
If that's the way this season's going to be, Gruden, it's your last year, I say get in their faces. I say just give it to them hard. Yeah. Make it the Gruden show. Make some noise.
Yeah. I'll tell you what was, for me, one of the most entertaining things about the whole game on Thursday. I love Joe Theismann.
He was in the booth.
I love listening to him and Kenny Albert go back and forth, and then Portis is down on the field, and there's just all this banner and stuff going back and forth. It was just entertaining as hell to me just to hear those guys sometimes. And Theismann has such a good insight to all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And he does it without sounding boisterous, or he just sounds like a guy who's got experience and knows some of these things. There's a Saturday Night Live sketch where these commentators are commentating a game or something. They'll just right in the middle of something, just all of a sudden throw in this sponsor for something. Kenny Albert was doing that like mad. I was cracking up because all of a sudden he would just throw it in there. His voice sounded just like the guy on SNL who was doing it. If I wouldn't have known better, I would have thought it was an SNL skit. It was just ridiculous. So anyway, well, I think the team's looking pretty solid going into Philly.
That's the thing. Yes, cuts, whatever. But at the end of the day, you look at the lineup and you're like, damn, defense and offense, with the exception of the offensive line and that left tackle position, where's the weak spot? I like our chances.
Yeah.
I like our chances.
Hey, and basically injury-free.
Yeah. Preseason's over. I've never been so locked in and excited for it to be over. Like I feel like there hasn't been this much anticipation, for a season in a while. So that's it.
Okay, it's a wrap. Preseason.
That is it for
All right,
preseason. I'll see you next week. Hail to the Redskins.
Hail to the Redskins.
Regular
See
season,
you
here we
later.
come. Bye, Dad.
Bye.
So that's it. Preseason's done. It is off to Philly, and we're gonna see what this team's all about. And shit's about to get real. Question: injuries? You're asking about injuries? Yeah, Casanova McKenzie got a little concussion. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Get your fat ass out there and play football. Let's do this. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. Let's just go to Philadelphia right now. Let's just go. Any other questions? No? Good. This press conference is over. See you in Philly.